Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is all about electric vehicles and associated problems. An important editorial, but when it comes to editorial vocabulary, not too many words. Let us start the session with editorial vocabulary. The very first word, imperative. We have got many a time. Imperative, part of speech, noun, meaning of vital importance or crucial, something very important, we use a word imperative. Spate, part of speech, noun, a large number of similar things coming in quick succession. Similar things happen in quick succession, immediately one after the other. Then we use the word spate. Explosions, a simple word, I'm sure you guys know that word. Part of speech, noun, explosion, singular, explosions, plural. A sudden outburst of something. Bomb explosion, simple combination. Viable, part of speech, adjective. There's one expression I've given many a time, commercial viability, commercially viable. Viable, part of speech, adjective, capable of working successfully. You can remember the word feasible. Feasible means possible. Accelerate, verb, acceleration, noun. A vehicle's capacity to gain speed, one meaning, typical meaning. What is the other meaning of accelerate? To speed up something. Indigenous, we have got many a time an important word. Indigenous, usually it goes with people. Indigenous tribes, indigenous people. Part of speech, adjective. Originating or occurring naturally in a particular place. You can remember the word native. Indigenous industries means local industries. Enhance, part of speech, verb. Intensify, increase, or further improve. Enhance something, improve something, the quality, value, or extent of. Core. I have given many a time the combination. Core competency. Core, part of speech, noun. The part of something that is central to its existence or character. Something that is a basic. We use the word core. Core competency. When we talk about a particular company, we ask the question, what is their core competency? Means main strength. Sophisticated, we have got again many a time, part of speech, adjective, having, revealing, or involving a great deal of worldly experience and knowledge of fashion and culture. But in this context, that is not the meaning. Sophisticated means refined or polished. Device, an important word, exam point of view. VICE is a noun form. VISE is a verb form. Here it is a noun. A thing made or adapted for a particular purpose, especially a piece of mechanical or electronic equipment. And you can also think of the word a gadget. Device means a gadget. Gadget goes with everyday English. Convergence, noun. The fact that two or more things, ideas become similar or come together. Usually, convergence, meet, unite, come together. Reliance, from that you get reliant, part of speech, adjective, dependent on someone or something. Reliable, dependable, bank on, they all mean the same. Shoddy, part of speech, adjective, badly made or done. Shoddy product means badly done. Comply, an important word we have got many a time. Compliance, part of speech, noun. The act of obeying an order, rule, or request. Comply with rules and regulations. Fledgling, organization, company. Part of speech, adjective. A person, usually it goes with a company or organization. A person or organization that is immature, inexperienced, or underdeveloped. Here you can say inexperienced. Albeit we have got many a time. Conjunction, what does it mean? Though. Proactive, an important word. All the youngsters, you should remember once you get selected, you take up the job, you have to be at the workplace proactive. Proactive is nothing but taking the initiative, doing something before you are told to do based on the situation, of a person or action, creating or controlling a situation rather than just responding to it after it has happened. Proactive, being taking the initiative. Recurrence, part of speech noun, the fact of occurring again. Something occurs repeatedly, we use a word, a recurrence. A recurrent problem, a combination. These are the words from the editorial. Let us go to the editorial. This editorial is all about electric vehicles and associated problems. So, how does it start? No short circuits. And what is the reason for that? If you look at the next sentence, you get the main idea of the editorial and what the problem is. Safety is an imperative and should be built into the cost and utility of electric vehicles. Then the editorial provides the background information, the stimulus, why this has been written. But here there's one important word, imperative. Safety is an imperative, means of vital importance or crucial. Safety is an imperative and should be built into passive voice, the cost and utility of electric vehicles. Here, electric vehicles slowly catching up, becoming popular, and they have their own benefits, especially when it comes to pollution, environment point of view. So it talks about the electric vehicles. At the same time, emerging technologies and associated problems. Safety is the most important thing. Keeping that in mind, what is the key word over here? Safety. Safety is an imperative and should be built into the cost and utility of electric vehicles. Now it provides a backdrop, the background information, a spate of incidents related to the burning of electric vehicles. This is a problem. The stimulus to write the editorial. A spate of incidents. There's one important word we have got for the first time. Spate, part of speech noun, a large number of similar things coming in quick succession. In this context, a lot of electric vehicles catching fire, a spate of incidents related to the burning of electric vehicles. So, series of incidents or incidents happening in quick succession. What are those incidents? Burning of electric vehicles. A spate of incidents related to the burning of electric vehicles has resulted. Here, the subject is spate. After that, whatever you see, a phrase, a spate that is singular, based on that, has resulted. Singular verb. A spate of incidents related to the burning of electric vehicles has resulted in the Union government announcing an expert panel to investigate the battery explosions causing them, and a few manufacturers recalling batches of electric scooters after some caught fire. A lengthy sentence. This editorial we come across a lot of lengthy sentences, but in a nutshell, what does it talk about? What does it convey? Series of incidents or spate of incidents related to burning of electric vehicles. And based on this spate of incidents, the Union government announced an expert panel. And what is the purpose of that panel? To investigate the battery explosions. Here, what is happening? Why are they burning the electric vehicles? Battery explosions. A panel has been set up to investigate the battery explosions causing them, and a few manufacturers, because safety is very important, and spate of incidents, response of the manufacturers. A few manufacturers recalling batches of electric scooters after some caught fire. That is the reason why this has been written and to highlight the associated problems. The battery explosions, they are going to find out, expert panel to investigate, probe the battery explosion, a sudden outburst of something in this context. Usually it goes with bombs. The battery explosions causing them, and a few manufacturers recalling batches of electric scooters after some caught fire. Catch fire, an important expression. Electric vehicles have increasingly become a viable transportation device, an important word grammar point of view. It's a noun, VISC, to plan something, that is a verb. These electric vehicles have increasingly become, present perfect tense, a viable transportation device, a viable, feasible transportation device with more than 11 lakh electric battery operated vehicles registered in India. Vahan database, April 22. How many vehicles? Electric battery operated vehicles, 11 lakh. And slowly they're becoming popular. And they have become a viable transportation device, viable, feasible, capable of working successfully. Unfortunately, initial hiccups, some of them caught fire. Because of that, the associated problems have come into the limelight. The increase in the utilization of electric vehicles has also, here what is the subject? Increase in the utilization of EVs or electric vehicles. It's a phrase, don't consider. The increase has also been, because the subject is third person singular, here singular verb. The increase in the utilization of EVs has also been largely helped by the significant reduction in cost of lithium ion batteries, one of the reasons, that have fallen by an estimated 89% since 2010. A decade, 89% the prices have come down, the cost has come down. And one of the reasons why they are becoming slowly popular. The increase in the utilization of EVs has also been largely helped by the significant reduction in cost of lithium ion batteries that have fallen by an estimated 89% since 2010. That is substantial. With climate change, other benefits. With climate change concerns driving governments, including India's, to incentivize a shift to EVs, they manufacture for commercial use has undergone an acceleration with an increase in the indigenous companies in the Indian market as well. Initially, they were imported from China, I suppose, but now, because of their popularity and because keeping the benefits, environment point of view, they have become popular. And based on the demand, Indian manufacturers, indigenous companies have come into the picture with climate change concerns driving governments. Now, every government universally across the world, the main concern, environment. With climate change concerns driving governments, including India's, obviously, to incentivize a shift to EVs. What is the reason? Eco friendly. They don't harm the environment. To incentivize a shift to EVs, they manufacture for commercial use has undergone an acceleration. Accelerate means to speed up a vehicle's capacity to gain speed, the typical meaning, but in this context, acceleration to speed up, accelerate. For commercial use has undergone present perfect and acceleration with an increase in indigenous companies. This is an important word. Indigenous usually goes with people, tribal people. Indigenous, originating or occurring naturally in a particular place. Native, indigenous people. You have to recollect words like original inhabitants. When we talk about people, original inhabitants, indigenous, aboriginals, native, all these are synonyms. But the word indigenous also goes with companies. We talk about multinational companies, we talk about indigenous companies, local or native, in the Indian market as well. The enhanced use of EVs. Another important word, enhanced, means what? Improve, intensify, increase, or further improve the quality, value, or extent of. The enhanced use of EVs and utilization of the underlying technology is welcome. It's a good thing. Enhanced use of electric vehicles and also utilization of the underlying technology, two things, is welcome, as despite the institution of fuel emission norms and building these into fossil fuel driven vehicles, the shift to EVs, electric vehicles, from petrol and diesel ones is expected to gain significant net environmental benefits. Why should we welcome? The main reason, electric vehicles, they don't cause pollution, and we are going to gain significant net environmental benefits, good for the environment, eco-friendly, anything today around the world. People have been talking for the last 2 decades or so, eco-friendly products, eco-friendly services, green lifestyle. Slowly they have become, still becoming popular, and whatever is environment friendly, it is welcome and highly appreciable. The lengthy sentence talks about the same thing. enhanced use of electric vehicles, and utilization of underlying technology is welcome, as despite the institution of fuel emission norms and building these into fossil fuel driven vehicles, the shift, now we see the shift from the regular vehicles which depend on fossil fuels, the shift to EVs from petrol and diesel ones is expected to gain, what is the impact? Is expected to gain significant net environmental benefits. That way, highly appreciable. But it must also be remembered, no doubt it's a good thing. Alternative technology, emerging technologies, always one should welcome, but got to be a little cautious or careful. Based on that contrasting word, but it must also be remembered. We must also remember active voice. It must also be remembered passive voice. But it must also be remembered that the Li-ion battery packs that form the core of the technology, core, an important word, noun, it can be an adjective, the part of something that is central to its existence or character. What is the central, the main thing when it comes to electric vehicles? The Li-ion battery packs that form the core of the technology are sophisticated devices. Usually, the word sophisticated goes with persons. A sophisticated person, sophisticated culture means what? Polished or refined, urbane, related word. Here, devices, gadgets, uh, VICS noun form. And there should be no compromise on the inbuilt safeguards. The core technology, Li-ion battery packs, and they should be, one should remember, they are sophisticated devices, that is one thing, and there should be no compromise whatsoever on the inbuilt safeguards. They have to be very safe. As an energy storage scientist explained in the Hindu FAQ page, May 1st, 2022, why do these batteries explode? This sentence talks about that, the reason behind. Battery fires occur due to the convergence of heat, oxygen, and fuel, and the controlled manufacturing of devices is specifically required to prevent these. So this sentence talks about the reasons behind the explosions. Why do batteries explode? As an energy storage scientist explained in the Hindu FAQ page, May 1st, 2022, battery fires happen, take place due to the convergence. Converge means come together of heat, oxygen, and fuel, and the controlled manufacturing of devices is specifically required to prevent these. Controlled manufacturing of devices. They have to be extremely cautious while manufacturing these devices. Engineering higher safety into EVs can result in higher costs. One of the reasons why do a lot of industries, a lot of companies, a lot of organizations, the main objective, the main purpose, making money, obviously business. They try to look at cost cutting, but cost cutting is important, it is required, it is essential, indispensable. At the same time, it should not be at the cost of quality, it should not be at the cost of safety. This talks about the same. Why don't they invest more? The more investment, the profits come down. Engineering higher safety into EVs can result in higher costs, but the smooth functioning of Li-ion batteries without accidents is reliant on the absence of shoddy engineering and cutting corner approaches. When can we depend on these electric vehicles? Two things are important. One, absence of shoddy engineering, shoddy an important word, badly made or done. Shoddy, absence of shoddy engineering and cutting corner approaches. There's one idiomatic expression, cutting corner. Cut corner means try to do something in order to save money, effort, or time. Obviously, the result is going to be of poor quality. You can't expect quality when you try to cut down money, when you try to cut down time, when you try to cut down effort. This sentence talks about the same. Engineering higher safety into EVs can result in higher costs, but the smooth functioning of Li-ion batteries without accidents is reliant on. It depends on smooth functioning of these batteries without the explosions. Depend on what? The absence of shoddy engineering and cutting corner approaches. These are not advisable. With long-term device changes in Li-ion batteries, such as the use of solid-state electrolytes, special safety switches, etc., still some time away in implementation, the onus is on manufacturers and regulators to ensure that testing and certification standards. A very lengthy sentence, I had to take it to the next slide. But here it talks about who is responsible, whose responsibility is it to make these electric vehicles safe. It talks about that with long-term device changes in Li-ion batteries, such as the use of solid-state electrolytes, special safety switches, etc., still some time away in implementation. It takes some time. Immediately we can't expect. The onus is on. Onus, an important word. What does it mean? A responsibility. The responsibility to make them safe is on manufacturers and regulators to ensure that testing and certification standards related to battery management systems such as devices that prevent accidental shorting of the cells and thermal management solutions among others are met in existing EV systems and supply chains. They have to consider all these aspects and they are met in existing electric vehicle systems and supply chains. Supply chains also very important. Union Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari has said that the Ministry of Road Transport will issue guidelines for EVs, which would include tests for compliance with specific safety norms. Compliance is very important. What does it mean? The act of obeying an order, a rule, or request. So the government comes up with certain guidelines related to safety, and the manufacturers or the vehicles they have to comply with specific safety norms. So that is good for everyone. While the regulation of a fledgling, albeit growing sector. Now, this sector is a new sector, emerging technologies, emerging sector. Fledgling, an important word. What does it mean? A person or organization that is immature, inexperienced, or underdeveloped. You can also say a new one, emerging one. While the regulation of a fledgling, albeit an important word, conjunction, though, growing sector, it's a growing sector, emerging sector that has shown a lot of promise and potential, but requires adequate safety norms. This is all about safety. To be put in place is an imperative. The main idea is being reiterated. Safety is very important, it is imperative. Manufacturers and other companies in the EV supply chain should also proactively work in recalling defective batches of vehicles and ensuring safety compliance to prevent the recurrence of mishaps. This sentence talks about the same, the main idea being reiterated. What is it? Safety is very important, keeping that in mind. While the regulation is also very important of a fledgling, albeit growing sector that has shown a lot of promise, but requires, there's a lot of potential, a lot of promise, but at this stage it requires something. What is it? Adequate safety norms. They have to be in place, to be put in place is an imperative that is crucial. Keeping that in mind, manufacturers and other companies in the EV supply chain should also proactively work. One thing, the next batch or the coming batches, the vehicles, I mean, they have to keep in mind safety and they have to comply with the rules and regulations. But already some vehicles are in the market, and this sentence talks about that dimension as well. Should also proactive an important word, of a person or action, creating or controlling a situation rather than just responding to it after it has happened. But in a nutshell, proactive means to take the initiative. Should also proactively work in recalling. At this stage, the focus should be on recalling defective batches of vehicles and ensuring safety compliance to prevent the recurrence of mishaps. If they don't recall, then what happens? Recurrence of mishaps, recurrence, something getting repeated, the fact of occurring again, mishap, an unfortunate incident. In this context, the battery is exploding. That's all about the editorial, an important editorial. Always remember emerging technologies, anything related to environment. If you guys remember the acronym SLEEPS, what does the last letter stand for? It stands for socio-cultural problems. There we have environment. Anything related to environment, anything related to technology, the first letter for science and technology. Very important, you may get as a passage in prelims or mains. They may not ask to write about this in the descriptive paper, but nothing wrong. You have to have the basic information related to electric vehicles because they're going to play a major role in the coming years. Consolidate your grammar from the editorial. When you read the editorial, one of the benefits, you can consolidate your grammar knowledge. Whatever you have learned, you can consolidate. Some of the expressions, they go with tenses, some go with helping verbs, some go with effective English, a few go with standard phrases. Should be built into, we should build something into active voice, and it should be built into, this is passive voice. And what is the use of should as a helping verb? It has many functions. The basic function in this context, it is used to advise or suggest someone. A spate of incidents, series of incidents, spate, something happening, a few incidents happening in quick succession, an important expression you have to remember. A viable transportation device, again a standard expression, but usually the word viable, feasible goes with commercial ventures. When someone comes to you, imagine tomorrow you get selected, you become a manager, someone comes applying for a loan for a particular venture, then you see whether it is going to be commercially viable or not. Means what? Feasible. A viable transportation device can work successfully. An increase in indigenous companies, indigenous people, indigenous companies, indigenous organizations, an important expression, and this word goes with power words. When it comes to descriptive English, you have to use power words. Power words, there are a few based on sleep's concept. One of those, indigenous, an important one. And when we talk about multinational companies, usually the negative impact of MNCs, they wipe out indigenous companies. Indigenous means local or native, an important one. An increase in something. We must also remember active voice. It must also be remembered passive voice. Again, you have to recollect what is the function of the helping verb must. It has two functions. One, it is used to express a personal obligation or an obligation imposed by the speaker. The second one, it is used to convey the idea that something is compulsory. There should be no compromise on. This is an important expression. There should be no compromise on safety of someone or safety of the users. The onus is on manufacturers. Again, an important expression. The onus is on someone. It takes a preposition on. The onus is on. Onus means what? Responsibility. It is on manufacturers and regulators. Both are equally. They play a crucial role. Ensuring safety compliance, ensuring safety. You can stop there also. But ensuring safety compliance, another important expression. Comply, an important word, means what? To obey the rules and regulations. Comply, an important word. Here, comply, complied, complied, verb. But compliance, noun form, important word. Enhance your comprehension skill. Improve. Enhance means what? There's that word in the editorial as well. Improve your comprehension skill. This is the most important skill, and the reason behind coming up every morning with the editorial analysis to enhance your reading comprehension skill. What are the questions you can think of? What is this editorial about? What has resulted in the union government announcing an expert panel to investigate the battery explosions causing them? Expert panel investigate or probe the battery explosions causing them. Keywords: navigate, locate, and try to get the answer. The increase in the utilization of EVs has also been largely helped by what? Something has helped increase in the utilization of electric vehicles. What is that? You have to write. Why do battery fires occur? Now, the editorial is all about electric vehicles and also battery fires, explosions. Why do they occur so often? Why do they occur? What are the reasons behind? Here you have to write about the reasons behind battery fires or explosions. Who should also proactively work in recalling defective batches of vehicles? Who should? Someone should work proactively, proactive, taking the initiative in recalling defective batches of vehicles. Important article, try to spend some time and try to have the basic information at your fingertips. Now let us go to, I'll keep changing the models. So today it is the old model, the editorial vocabulary and the meanings you have to match. Then we'll go to practice questions based on exam topics. Imperative, try to respond quickly. Imperative means what? Part of speech, noun, it could be adjective. Write parts of speech on your own later, but imperative, crucial. C. Spate, part of speech, noun, what does it mean? Similar things coming in succession. Answer is G. Viable project means feasible. Answer is J. Indigenous people, indigenous companies, obviously adjective. What does it mean? Native. Enhance, part of speech verb, it's a regular verb, means improve the quality of something. Improve. Simply you can remember the word improve. Core, part that is central or essential or the most important. Core competency, remember that. That also goes with power words. Core competency, part that is central. D. It can be a noun, it can be an adjective. Sophisticated person, sophisticated culture, and sophisticated something means what? Polished or refined. Part of speech, adjective. Shoddy product, badly made or manufactured. Obviously, adjective. Answer is I. Fledgling company, fledgling organization, fledgling sector means what? Immature, no experience, something new. So E is the answer. Proactive, proactive person, proactive employee, taking initiative, doing something before you're told to do something based on the situation. So, what are you left with? Controlling a situation. More than controlling, I would rather say doing something before you're told to do something based on the situation or taking the initiative. If you have got all the 10 correct, you should be very happy. Now, let us go to practice questions based on exam topics. And someone has been asking 200 rules. I'm going to start, resume rather, but not here. You have to download my app. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow in the session. 200 rules about the magazine, about two new courses. Please wait till tomorrow. For all of sadness, poverty, and distress in the world, every one of us possess unlimited ways of making a positive difference. That's what I have said. I am going to resume, but not YouTube channel, but my app. Tomorrow I'm going to give the details and wait till tomorrow. For all of sadness, poverty, and distress in the world, every one of us possess or possesses. Every one. We cannot, it is singular and it is in present tense. Then we have to add S or ES. Here, possess, not correct. We have to say possesses. Every one of us possesses unlimited ways. What is this about? Subject verb agreement. Everyone possesses, everyone has, singular verb, and it is in present affirmative. We should add S or ES to the verb. Recollect the rule. Here it does not. It should not make hissing sound. Possesses, no problem. If it makes hissing sound, then you cannot use. But here we are not talking about the possession. We are talking about the word adding S or ES to the verb. The therapeutic benefits at helping others have long been recognized by people. Where is the error? Sentence number 2. Benefits Yes, the therapeutic benefits of helping, benefits of doing something. What are the benefits of reading the Hindu? What are the benefits of helping others? Here, the appropriate preposition of, not at. Benefits of helping others have long been recognized by people based on the preposition of. Please go to sentence number 3. We are yet starting offering this facility to our customers as we are awaiting approval from the board. Inappropriate preposition. We are yet starting offering this facility. Here you don't have to go beyond the second part. Second part also to be on the safe side. But when you go to the first part, you should be able to make out there is an error. What is it? The word yet, I have given many a time. Usually the word yet, it goes with negative and negative interrogative sentences that you have to recollect. And also it comes at the end of the sentence. The train hasn't come yet. Haven't you posted the document yet? But there's another expression. If someone asks, has a train come? Has a master come? Yet to come. What is the expression? Yet to come. Yet to come. Yet to start. Based on that, we are yet to start. Yet to start. That is correct. It's a standard expression. Based on that, the question. The chairman of all large public sector banks met with senior RBI officials to give its suggestions about implementing the new policy. Yet to come, yet to go, yet to start, yet to implement. Try to make your own patterns. Based on the pattern, try to make your own examples. Don't stop with one. Yet to start, yet to begin, yet to go, yet to implement. What is the subject here? The chairman of all large public sector banks, chairman plural, met with senior RBI officials to give its or their to give their suggestions about implementing the new policy. Here it is a question based on subject pronoun, not subject verb, subject pronoun agreement, an important dimension. When I give the mind map pronouns, I give this dimension as well. Subject pronoun agreement, object pronoun agreement, very important. Under pressure, not easy. The chairman met with senior RBI officials to give their suggestions. Chairman, subject, their, pronoun, subject pronoun agreement. You cannot use a singular pronoun. Had this notification been amended earlier, we would have stopped the transfer of funds. Sentence number 5, where is the error? Nothing wrong if it is there, but we would have stopped. Which one is that? Sentence number 4. Met senior. Nothing wrong with if you use with. Absolutely no problem. Very good. Sentence number 5. There is no error. Had this notification been amended? No, it should be in passive voice. Had it been done? Had we done it? Active voice, present perfect. Had it been done? Passive voice, present perfect. Here, had this notification been amended? Nothing wrong with that. But here, what you have to recollect, this pattern. We would have stopped the transfer of funds. Would plus have plus verb past participle form. It goes with conditionals. Which conditional does it go with? Past conditional. Any conditional Conditionals are also known as if conditionals. Then you may ask, sir, where is the word if? Here, if, when it comes to past conditional, there are two patterns. We can use the word if, then past perfect. Here we have to use past perfect, should be in affirmative. The second pattern, if you drop the word if, then past perfect should be in interrogative form. If if this notification had been amended, that is one pattern. Without if, had this notification been amended, interrogative form. So no error. Sentence answer is no error. You have to go through very carefully. Dangerous, precarious. You have to go through carefully, and you have to recollect all the grammar rules. You have to understand the context. You have to check, read the sentence meticulously. Only then you will be able to spot the error. Just like that, no one can. Next set, practice questions based on exam topics, phrases, phrase replacement. Here you see words in red, could be right, could be wrong, correct, no correction required, not correct, one of the options. Use a tactic for mixing the inferior with good quality rice is dishonest and you will lose your license. Impossible. Past conditionals are known as impossible because we cannot change the past. Using tactics as mixing, no, not correct. Using a tactic like mixing the inferior with the superior or good quality rice, hold that one. To use a tactics mixing, no, there is no continuity, not correct. Use to tactics like, you cannot use. What is answer? Answer is the second option. Using a tactic like mixing the inferior with good quality rice is dishonest and you will lose your license. Beyond any doubt, the second option. The company will invest more 600 crores in the next 5 years to expand its operations in Britain. The company will invest more 600, will invest more 600 crores. Not acceptable, not grammatically correct. Will further invest 600 crores. Seems right. This is not correct. Has invested more than 600 crores in the next 5 years, then it is not correct. Have invested, grammatically not acceptable. Will be investing would have been correct. Will be invested, not correct. Answer is the first option. The company will further invest, already invested some crores, will further invest 600 crores in the next 5 years to expand its operations in Britain. Answer is the first option. Good. Several of our projects have delayed because the equipment we ordered was delivered late. Several of our projects have delayed. When you read the sentence, next second you should be able to make out whether it has to be in active voice or passive voice. And based on that, you will be able to spot the error. Several of our projects always at the receiving end. That means we have to use passive voice. We cannot use active voice. Have delayed, not correct. Active voice. Have been delayed when the equipment we ordered was delivered late. This seems right. Hold that one. Delayed because of the equipment we ordered was delivered late. Because of, no, you cannot use. Are delayed since the equipment we ordered was delivered late. You cannot use active voice. Were delayed with, no. What is the answer? Answer is the first option, not the second one. Because of the delay in the something. Here, after, what is the difference between because of? Because it takes a clause. Because of, you can use a noun. Because of the delay or adjective. Because we have been delayed, clause. Here, because of is not correct. The equipment we ordered was delivered late. There's a clause. Answer is the first option. Have been delayed. Present perfect passive voice. Only a few have got it right. That's a bit surprising. Several of our projects have been delayed when the equipment we ordered was delivered late. When did they or when have they been delayed? Why have they been delayed? When we ordered the when the equipment we ordered was delivered late. Read the complete clause. Then nothing wrong with the word when. The committee has ruled out the possible raising taxes for this financial year. Exactly. He is late because of rain. He is late because it was raining or because it is raining. The committee has ruled out the possible raising, possible or possibility, the possibility of, that is a standard expression. Possibly no, possible rise no, possibility to raise no, possibility of raising taxes. Answer is a fourth option. The committee has ruled out. Rule out means something is impossible, not going to happen. Has ruled out the possibility of raising taxes for this financial year. Answer is the fourth option. The company has set up a foundation which helps students who do not have the necessary funds to study ahead. Students study ahead, they don't go with each other. Further to study, they don't have the funds further to study, of studying more to study onward. They don't have necessary funds for higher studies. Again, answer is the fourth option. The company has set up a foundation which helps students who don't have the necessary funds for higher studies. Answer is the fourth option. This jumble a bit challenging for two reasons. You have to go through very carefully. Another reason, how many parts are there? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. What is the first sentence? You need to go through all, but try to take the elimination approach. First one is G. Far back in time, science, like monasticism, attracted people who were singularly driven by a passion for seeking the truth. Second one is not A. G is correct. It has presented the historical development, historical view. So you have to consider the broad framework. A is not the second one. No. It cannot start with the small letter. No, 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 no. A is not the second one. Easy to get the second sentence. No, not C. No, 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 not D. B is the second one. Who is this? Pritham. He has got it right. The second sentence is a B. Far back in time, science like monasticism attracted people who were singularly driven by a passion for seeking the truth. Historical perspective, largely ignored by the rulers. Rulers, not we don't have in the present time. Rulers past, largely ignored by the rulers and the state machinery of those days. Those days means past. Here, far back in time, it talks about the past. Based on that, there are clues. Easy to get the second sentence. But you guys have thought the A is the second one. No. Largely ignored by the rulers and the state machinery of those days. Science was either supported by the enlightened and munificent elites or by the investigators themselves from their personal funds. BA, one pair. BA. A is the third sentence. Because the rulers and the state machinery of those days ignored, how did they support? Who supported science? Science was either supported by, look at the continuity and look at the relation, how they related to each other. GBA over. Now the writer comes to the present. Past times, present. The times have changed since. Since then, times have changed. And we have never had so many people supported by the state. See, what is the next one? The times have changed since, and we have never had so many people supported by the state whose purported purpose of work is to understand the world better. Here, people whose purpose is to understand the world better. CE1 pair, not D. Here there's a comma, then you cannot go to the next one. It cannot be D at any cost. CE1 pair. Thus, knowledge generation of the natural world has become a highly competitive endeavor among the nations, and science funding has often been touted as a marker of social advancement. Here we have DF1 pair. Based on all this, thus, knowledge generation of the natural world has become a highly competitive endeavor among the nations, and science funding has often been touted, floated, or promoted as a marker of social advancement. The progress of any country depends on science and technology, and governments spend a lot of money on science and technology. Here, G is an independent sentence, BA one pair, CE one pair, DF one pair. This is the correct order. You should always try to get the broad framework. That is again very important, especially when you come across 6 parts or 7 parts. The broad framework is not easy. Very good, I appreciate. Pritham, this is not an easy one. And Pritham says he has got it right. That is highly appreciable. The last slide, enrichment point of view. What time is it? 8:53. Idioms. Be grateful for what you have. So what is the idiom for that old pattern? Looks like Sai Arvind also has got it right. Very good. Be grateful for what you have. Human nature, we always want what we don't have. We are not happy with what we have. Be grateful. Based on that, be grateful for what you have. Count your blessings. Answer is D. Hope that something does not happen. I use this regularly. Hope that something does not happen. You say something, at the same time you say, I hope it doesn't happen. God forbid. Answer is C. God forbid means it should not happen. You hope that it doesn't happen. Most important point of an issue. Crux of the matter. What is the crux of the matter? E is the answer. Adam's apple. There is a part, usually men, for men it is conspicuous, only men have. This part is very conspicuous, that is known as Adam's apple. But here it is Adam's ale. Means what? Water. Here it is B. A natural disaster, act of God. a natural disaster, act of God. All are important idioms, very important exam point of view. They should be at your fingertips. That's all for today. Thanks for being with me. 8:55. Have a nice day. Do remember to subscribe and share. After the session, go to the description of the video. You find the link Telegram group Murthy's English. Join, and you're always at the receiving end. You cannot do anything. Regarding 200 grammar rules, I'm going to resume, but not here, my app. And I'm going to come up tomorrow with two important courses related to the magazine as well. So, tomorrow's session, I'm going to give all the details. Please wait till tomorrow with your fingers crossed. Thank you.